Du-du-du. All right, just hello everyone. Just waiting for others to join. This is going to be a bit of a short session today. Hopefully, we get some people in chat, and we'll be taking questions off of Twitter. Do-do-do. Oh, there's Robin.
Morning.
Morning.
So you broadcasting where from?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube page. I'll give the link.
You doing anything? Just straight broadcast.
No, it's just gonna be a straight broadcast. The lobby is going through renovations. I told everyone. So no smooth jazz today. Figured this be a little less official and just more of a BS kind of share things that have unfolded over the last 2 days or so.
Right on.
I know that CNN thing was kind of short, and it's like an I report, but I'm so glad that they put that tweet up.
I mean, they're just reporting what they're seeing.
Yeah, that's like a really good tweet to like capture a bigger audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what's your real job anyway? Hourly food service? Like people will read that and be like, wait, what's this chick talking about?
Yeah. A small influx of gamer gators are on their way.
Yeah.
We could have some jazz, you know. Or are you going to be playing Eminem?
Let's see, I could do this. Man, I seem to have gotten worse today. Like,
I can do it.
yeah, you go ahead and do it.
You on your YouTube app?
A minute. And Matt's here. I don't think the stream can hear that though, can they? Just remember you're muted.
Yeah. Got a nice little echo going on with it too.
Is it me? I
Well,
need.
I'm on my speaker, but
Um,
hey, Matt.
Matt, you can do it. Unmute your mic. Whatever.
Hello?
Ah, there he is.
Yeah, I was setting up the right device in the settings.
It's all right, man.
CNN, huh?
I literally shared that every way they let me do it on there just so I can give them the traffic and turn my ad blocker off. Clicked a couple adverts.
Honestly, as far as CNN is concerned, I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference, but it's important to spread it on social media like herpes.
Yeah. I agree. That's exactly what I want.
And we need to upvote this shit. There's a thing at the bottom where you can say, this belongs on CNN.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
You can basically vote for this to be actually covered on CNN.
Sign up. All right. I'll sign in just to.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Perfect. See, basically we're going to be having a recording of the band in today because, I'm not allowed to do what I'm doing in the hotel.
It's just renovating, man. They're sprucing up the place. They had an influx of customers. They weren't ready for us. They're building us a great hall.
But I hear they're adding a humidor, so...
A homie door.
They need to get rid of that lion's head on the top. That looks stupid.
You know what would be more ironic? A racist social justice warrior.
They're everywhere.
Are you familiar with this person called Ian Miles Chong?
Yeah. Ian.
That's how... Yeah.
Ian Chong.
Well, he asked, what would be funny would be a racist social justice warrior.
No,
I'm just. He is, isn't he? He likes to throw out a bit of anti-Semitism.
I'm just going through my Reddit inbox, and it's mostly just tweets. And I'm checking through Kotaku in action. Like the top thing right now is the Verge is pissed off that Intel's pulling their ads. Claims Gamergate wants to silence equality. It's an archive page, but I'll throw it up here. It's kind of hard to read through because it's all
just your brand.
The amount of backpedaling and damage control is downright amusing.
Oh yeah. See, again, this is where I question some tinfoil hats. What are the bigger implications of an event like this happening? I wonder if there's other stuff that are kind of similar going on behind the scenes that are getting riled up. Oh shit, this Gamergate thing kind of blew up. We got to be careful of the ties that.
I guarantee everybody is talking about this. Everybody that's got a skeleton in the closet is shitting their pants right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's awesome.
Well, they're gonna it. I can't remember how to get there, but there was the thing that showed you the bulk deletion requests from the Wayback Machine.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be interesting in like 6 or 7 months from now when someone does a nice infographic of where these requests were coming from, and
We need to spread the message that we can vote this to be covered. Everybody needs to know I can vote this to be on the news.
yeah, I'm gonna tweet that out. I'm gonna put at CNN in the tweet as well. There we go.
My iPhone sucks.
Well, what do you have an iPhone for?
For free.
Okay, good. I mean, excuse. As a developer, I need a testing device, so.
Yeah, this one's an iPhone 4, but it's had a rattle, so it either works or it doesn't work on the phone. It's stupid. You know the on the iPhone 4, it's got that noise cancellation thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, if that microphone stops working, it won't let you speak.
Brilliant.
It just works, and then it doesn't. Sort of an either or when it comes to Apple. You can't change anything with the software to turn it off, you see.
Oh, and by the way, we broke the record for most tweets in a single day yesterday.
How many was it?
Was that first one? That was 60,000, wasn't it?
More.
Really? Because the whole Intel thing, obviously.
Yeah, you could literally see the same spike that happened in Gamergate, exactly the same spike happening on Intel too.
Can I ask, is there anything a little better than Topsy for finding out the details?
There is, but it's not as aesthetically or easily navigatable.
Like hourly reports, things like that.
Sorry everyone if I seem so scatterbrained. It's like my cold's gotten worse.
No worries. No worries.
Again, back to chugging orange juice.
Hey, Kenny.
Oh, and we're apparently one of the top trending campaigns on Thunderclap.
Yes. Now I just moved to my new solid state drive. Why didn't anybody tell me these things were so awesome?
I keep telling everybody I see, the best upgrade you can give to any slightly dated machine is an SSD drive.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
raid 0 those things, man. Get 2 of them.
I just put a 320 in here.
No, that's just downright obscene.
But it's awesome.
Yes, but
It's unnecessary.
it's kind of crossing the line.
I don't know, when you do a lot of like I do a lot of
I'm
timeouts,
sorry I crossed the line.
and the read-write speeds definitely help speed things up.
Honestly, the main reason I got myself the SSD was because loading projects with lots of assets normally takes like up to 7 hours if the project is big enough.
Oh yeah, I hear you. That's
It's
definitely
Once
worth
Upon a
it.
Star.
Say what?
Is this when you Once Upon a Star?
The song?
Yeah, because it still does sound like it.
I don't know. I got it turned way down.
I'm gonna be right back for a little bit. Get some pizza going.
Well, I plugged this over on King's stream, and the people were asking if anybody was streaming, so I
Good,
threw
good,
this up
good.
there.
Get us more people.
Здравствуйте, товарищ.
I mean, honestly, you guys, I'm not super concerned with people watching. Like, I don't care about how many people watch. Just rather have a chat with you guys.
Здравствуйте, товарищи. До свидания.
Where's my Sims 2?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Now it works.
Users. Me. The one problem is that I can't fit all my games on this solid state drive. I have a lot.
See, again, that's why I say don't spend the big money on big drives. Just get 2 or 3 smaller drives and just do that RAID 0. That's one of the things like I learned from running those subs about cryptocurrency mining rigs when they were mostly video card and all that.
Was just a little late on that.
Did you guys see that Corsair case that I posted in chat yesterday?
Say what?
No, I'll actually post a picture of a couple of my mining rigs if you guys care to see them. One of them was a Corsair
Oh, brilliant!
that had 2 1200 watt power supplies in it.
Oh, sorry. I've just found out that there's this new release of Blender that does GPU-based volume shading now.
Nice.
That's going to be really cool. I'll have to have a play with that.
No, that's not what I want.
And I fear my Sims 2 installation won't be able to transfer to my solid state drive. All because I downloaded this goddamn thing off of Origin.
Or you just move the what is it, the Origin library file over.
Yeah, but this was a temporary deal. I would do that, and I think I've tried it. I don't think it worked though.
You have it downloaded on your main drives?
Origin?
No, the Sims that you downloaded.
I had it downloaded on my old main drive.
Do you still have that drive?
Yeah.
Is it hooked up?
Yeah.
Oh, you should be able to just move it over.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not showing up in my Origins account.
Oh. But I don't know.
I mean, the crappy Sims 4 Create a Sims demo is. By the way, don't get the Sims 4. Save your money.
Don't you like it?
No, I don't. Seriously, they really messed up bad.
It can't last forever. Unfortunately.
And now I literally don't. I might have to arg. I might have to argue.
Just call up EA and be like, hey, yo, blah, blah, blah. They'll do something for you.
Call EA. You think I want to call EA?
Well, wait. If you guys don't have the app Fast Customer, get that. That way you don't sit on hold.
So, anything happened today?
Uh,
I woke up.
they were just kind of watching from what happened yesterday.
With glee.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with a new version of Blender.
So how do I Isn't there a way I could contact them online?
Nice.
Oh yeah, there is. They have a live chat customer.
That's why I'm about to just do that.
Super fast. Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, I gotta ask, how can you stand using Blender?
What do you
How can I
mean?
stand using what?
It is like
Now
I can't
choose
even
your words
describe it.
carefully, my friend. We could have a falling out here.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very powerful and you can do everything with it. But it's kind of, it has this it has the, for me personally, the same level of usability as sandpaper to wipe your ass. I mean, it works, but it's not exactly pleasant.
Don't be attacking Blender.
Well, no, it's come from sort of quite dirty roots, and it is slowly. It's had some major improvements recently.
Oh, absolutely, it's going in the right direction. I will say that, and I definitely see they're trying to go for more usability and a better approach in that regard.
They're getting there. And plus, the usability is really down to you as well, because you
This is true.
can rearrange everything in different ways,
I mean, I must admit, I'm kind of stuck in my ways because I'm
Yeah, and you sort of you can sort of ruin yourself that way, isn't it?
I mean, I do use a lot of different softwares, but I just have some kind of problem specifically with Blender. I mean, I can get into it, but as soon as I stop using it for a week, I forget everything.
I can
Right.
actually say what he's saying. I've only used Blender for one thing. Sims 3 modding. That's it. And it was a pain in the ass then.
Well, I'm just looking at the moment at volumetric shading on graphics card right now.
Oh, nice.
Just got through to it now, and I've got 780, so this is slick.
And I really need to. You would be laughing. I'm still running around with a GTX 260.
Let me just display my thing to you.
No, I don't care about The Sims 2. For fuck's sakes. I mean, I don't care about The Sims 4. For fuck's sakes.
You trying to contact EA or something?
I have to now.
Why? Why would you ever want to talk to EA?
Because I'm not sure if you knew this, but like in the middle of 2014, they had The Sims 2 for free. Only thing is, you had to use Origin.
Is that okay?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's reasonable quality in about a millisecond. Let's see if we can get it down.
That's not too bad.
I personally would just
get 10 samples.
Get The Sims on Origin, never install Origin or The Sims, and just pirate The Sims 2. If anybody,
I would, but
yeah,
I wanted my thing legit. I wanted it legit. I got it legit free, so I get it legit.
This is legit. You own Sims 2. You just don't use the legit copy. You're clean.
Just don't torrent it.
Why?
Because then you're redistributing it.
You mean
Not if
don't
you're
seed?
not if you're not seeding. Yeah.
Don't seed.
Well, yeah, you'd have to completely cut your upload bandwidth, but yes.
I mean, if you use something like
I already do that.
uTorrent, you can make it so that you never seed.
True, true.
But then you're just being a dick when you do that.
Yep.
Luckily, that's exactly what I am.
Uh,
I
Well,
mean, how many studies are out there that show that people that torrent things are more likely to spend more money on that certain area? Like people that torrent video games are more likely to buy like the legendary editions of shit that cost $120 US and
well, it's not just that. Also, on the high-end market, if you look at stuff like Photoshop, 3D Studio, and so forth, right? I mean, these programs are so ridiculously expensive that
Oh, good job, Jade.
normally people wouldn't, be investing that kind of money. But here's the thing: what usually ends up happening, and I've seen this happen countless times, is somebody pirates the software, learns how to use it, acquires skills, and then when it comes down to actually making money, they are forced to buy the software. So it's actually working out in that company's favor.
oh yeah. I don't know if you guys had. This was a little while ago, but like the president of a
I'm sorry, EA. You forced my hand. You broke my heart. Well, you broke my heart like years ago, but now you really broke my heart.
what's happening?
EA broke my heart.
I'm sorry. What happened?
No, because now I have no choice but to pirate. I only pirate if I have no other choice. If I have a choice, I won't do it.
But yeah, wait. What I was saying, I like lost my track of thought there. The president of Adobe was like in Australia, saying how they can justify like a $1,700 price tag on Photoshop, and it was just go try to find that. I'll see if I
Are
can
you
find it.
joking?
No, I'm not. And one of the reporters was like, "Do you want to sit here with a straight face and say that this software should be $1,700?" He's like, "Well, we think it's competitive, and we think it's at a price point our customers will like." It reminds me of the Nestle CEO saying water should not be a human right; it should be privatized.
He says that?
Yeah. I have that. I have that link. Someone just reposted that up
Are you,
on Reddit.
nigga, are you high off your ass? Oh, that would have been my exact response.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
You forced my hand, EA. You forced my hand. 17 is one of my favorite games of all time. I would have bought it for $70, but no.
Yeah, here you go. Nestle CEO: water is not a human right; should be privatized.
Yes.
Our planet is.
Tell me again, fine gentlemen, how capitalism is very sensible. Yeah, I know, I'm just
No, people
joking.
just manipulate it to hell. That's why people hate. That's why a lot of. As much as there are Yankees fans, there are a lot of people that just can't stand the fuckers because they take control of capitalism so well.
Oh yeah, and then here's the video. Adobe CEO avoids answering questions on overpricing in Australia. I'll put that one in the chat.
I want that. No, I mean that rig. I want that rig.
Oh, the one I posted?
Yeah.
You guys don't understand how massive that Corsair case is.
No. I want it.
I want it.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts, but I want it.
I want it.
Nigga,
That's
what?
right. When I was mining with that, it put out it literally could heat my whole house.
Man, You better get that nitrogen cooling in that bitch.
I looked at a number of different things. Like I looked at doing Peltier cooling devices, and putting that in between the heatsink and the GPU. But
But that's what I can do. I could just get the crack. I have the program. I just need the crack.
What?
he's talking about The Sims.
Alright.
Guess I should go check the chat here. If anybody's commenting, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, did you see Jay's new tweet
In between the heatsink
What?
towards Liana K?
the GPU.
No, it's actually a good one.
Oh, thank fuck.
Ah, fuck! I didn't enable comments, or not enable comments or live chat.
It's actually a good one, guys.
Nice. Well done, Jade. What did she say?
I'm gonna link you to the actual tweet longer. But apparently, Liana K's Facebook got hacked.
Okay.
I saw you guys were talking something about CNN in the chat when I got on.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
CNN might be reporting on the Gamma Sutra Intel split.
Yeah, if you go to the... Here, I'll post it in
I
chat.
hope you know
If you-
that they do report on that. We're
That's-
set.
That's millions of people seen that.
Yeah, we're set.
Yeah, if everyone goes to that link and I know it's a hassle, but make an account, log in, and say this belongs on CNN. I posted that up on Twitter as well. A bunch of people have already retweeted it.
Gamer getters are looking at the actual object while others are focused on the shadow and insist that's it. There's a more abstract there's a more simpler way of putting that. Give me a second. You know those idiotic teachers that try to tell you what's in a story?
What do you mean?
I don't get
There's a
it.
picture of it. Give me a sec. Give me a second. There's actually a picture.
This is a tweet from Jade Fox. I don't see.
Here we go. This is the picture I was talking about. What the author meant? What your English teacher thinks the author meant. For instance, the curtains were blue.
Well,
What
you
your
gotta
teacher
post
thinks.
it, Kenny.
Oh,
Strictly speaking, Troy, I don't think that that's the case.
What do you mean?
Well, English teachers, well, any linguistics teachers. I mean, obviously here it's Polish. In English class, we're learning grammatics constantly and reading.
it's not to be take. Just read what it means, and you'll see exactly what I think is wrong with journalism, with these reviewers.
We had a author that was still alive back in the day. She was named Maria Orzeszkowa, and I don't know if you guys know what a maturity exam is. I think it's comparable to the finals. You take a big exam at the end of high school. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the maturity exam. And she took a maturity exam in Polish, so it's basically like you taking an English exam. And she got a C she got a C for interpreting her own poetry. She took the test anonymously. It was sent off to graders, and they graded her a C when she was writing up an interpretation of her own
That's
poem.
kind of my point.
Well, then see, I would ask, like, how was the question worded? Was it baiting into getting some type of a response, or was it a misleading question?
No, it was she was taking a standardized maturity exam. It was that current year's exam sent to her. And she filled it out anonymously, made up name, made up the statistics, and it was sent along with the pile to
Right.
the graders. Because here it's a nationwide kind of thing, and the graders are just hired by the government. So they're
Right.
sitting and grading people from the entire region, and you get your results mailed back.
No,
So they
I
thought
get all that.
so they just thought it was a regular student because it was the standardized test. It wasn't specially worded or something like that, like a challenge. She got a C from interpreting her own poetry.
Yeah, but see, my question would be is, did they change the words of her own work so that she didn't recognize it or something?
No, it was her poetry.
Hmm.
She knew it was her poetry, and she interpreted her own poetry, and she got a C in it.
Then I guess another thing that I would say is maybe that's a good illustration of how the mind changes and perceive things over time. I don't know. Like, I would want to see the questions or the test.
Well, it's all subjective, isn't it? You see.
Yeah.
Can somebody link me to that CNN thing? Because
Oh,
my
I thought
Hangout
I
chat
put it
kind
in the chat.
No, you just reposted Twit Longer by Jay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. My B. I'm
what's that?
reading. I'm trying to read this whole thing on from Kotaku in Action about The Verge not liking that Intel pulled away their support, and they wrote something that says, where is it?
Who's Verge? Or what's
Uh,
Verge?
The Verge is like it's a journalism. It's just a news site.
Somebody to be on the boycott list.
Oh, here we go. So they're chalking it up to the Operation Disrespectful Nod, apparently orchestrated by supporters of the Gamergate hashtag, who rail against so-called social justice warriors, writers, journalists, and developers. And I'm like, what? No, we're not against developers or anything. Oh boy.
I don't get it. Why do people keep saying this is a thing about racism? At first I was thinking it's just some of our people being idiots and using words they don't understand, just like the other side. But apparently, people are just going around saying that the Alexander is racist, and I'm not sure how does that work.
Yeah, I haven't seen the tweets that say anything about race, but to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there were. Just the vile garbage that comes out of that person's mouth.
I mean, I know these people are so out of touch with reality. They tend to say racist things and they're not realizing it. But it's
Right.
usually racist things against white people, so nobody really cares that much. I mean, I know CNN wouldn't be reporting on racism against white people.
I don't know, man. You gotta kind of look at the American media. Like, what was it yesterday? Their whole thing was, oh my God, everyone east or west of the Mississippi is going to be dead in a couple days because we have one Ebola patient in Texas. And it's like, and then some guy gets up and is like,
I'd be concerned if there was cases of Ebola in my borders.
well, there's one case. It's not an airborne disease, and they're treating it like the end of days.
There is no cure for Ebola, right?
Not that I know of.
Well, that guy's fucked.
I think
I bet that was the one thing he was betting on not dying from. Dying for trespassing, prison rape, everything that, but Ebola in America? Nah, that doesn't happen.
What you got to keep in mind, though, before you go, crazy about this, is that that one of the reasons why in some areas it's spread is mostly also related due to customs. You know, when you're talking about a culture in which it is common to hug the sick and the dead, that is,
Oh yeah.
that makes it much easier for something like that to spread. So unless you go around hugging corpses on a daily basis, your chances of contracting it are significantly lower.
Yeah, absolutely. Did anybody see the documentary about the what was it? These band of kids. They're not kids, but they're like, late teens, early 20-year-olds that just go around Africa and bury people that have died from Ebola. They put them in bags and everything, and like normally the villages are like screaming at them, throwing stones at them because they're not giving the dead a proper burial, and it's really bizarre. I mean, it's some good insight into what that culture is like, I guess.
Those kids are stupid.
Well, they wear like, biosuits and everything.
Well, props for that. It's because I mean, if I was like 60 years old, I'd probably just do it because I'm gonna die soon anyway.
Oh, see, that's like the old guys at Fukushima. The elders were like, let's not send in these youth or these middle-aged people. We'll get in there and.
My father was one of the Chernobyl knockermen, the guys that
Yeah.
went and drained the water from the underside of the reactor, or the nodes would have just eaten through the floor and fallen into an immense vat of water. And we all know what lovely things happen when those things occur.
It was very noble of him.
He didn't actually die. I mean, he's dead now, but he lived years after that. Because he was part of the team that was cleaning up the graphite.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, the guys there was like 4 guys that did the water vat, and they all died a few days later.
Oh my God. I keep watching. I've been going back and rewatching some of Thunderfoot's videos, and I'm on the dumbest things said about radioactivity, or the dumbest things said about Fukushima, and
Yeah, and that was hysteria.
people are like, "Oh, this place is so radioactive that nothing grows within 100 miles of the reactor," and it's like, well, actually, there's endangered species that are flourishing because humans are no longer in that area.
If you want to wing in America, then drink fucking Lugola fluid. That's how we won it when the Chernobyl cloud came over our city. Just drink copious amounts of Lugola fluid.
I'm reading this, going back to this Jade Fox's post, and I'm gonna give her some props for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the internet. Nobody would have begrudged her if she just gloated at this. So I guess props for that.
I'm also a little skeptical about her Facebook being hacked, because someone who's got that many, has that many eyes on them. Like, personally, I've kind of changed all my passwords and put 2-factor authentication on things, and just to be safe. I use something like Authenticator.
By the way, you said you're on the inside of Reddit. Well, you're a Reddit mod.
Yeah.
What exactly are the, current moods in Reddit? Where the wind blows? As far as staff goes, the other mods, the admins.
I don't know too much about the admins. I've just started up some subreddits, and have been asked to come help moderate on others, and really it's this. I haven't been to too many other places on Reddit recently just because I've been following the Kotaku in Action sub a lot and being sick and then also being on these streams. But, I mean, I probably could message 1,000 users and they would be like, what's Gamergate? I mean, some of them would probably be like, oh yeah, isn't that thing about sexist people hating journalists? Because there's still censorship going on.
That guy that's pretty much plastered over all of the initial screenshots of Reddit doing shadow banning and deleting. Is he still around, or was he canned? The guy with the orange monster for an avatar. That's all I remember.
I'm not sure. I mean, people have kind of learned the safe places to talk about it. So they're not. I don't think a lot of people are. Like, it wouldn't be in my best interest to go to r/gaming and start talking about Gamergate, because I know that I'll either just get shadow banned or.
I'm not getting shadow banned now. That would be news.
Oh, it happens. Mods are not they're not immune to shadow banning from other subreddits. Like, I can't go to some secret or private subreddits.
You can or can't?
Cannot.
It's just a weird setup, because I'm more used to the model where mods can't ban or antagonize each other with their tools.
Oh, if you've who had, what was it? King of Pole had the Reddit mod on. Yeah. A former gaming mod, and he talks about how there's this other subreddit called Games, and how him and the other moderator didn't get along very well, and very rarely did they talk unless there was an incident where they had some overlap. But if you want a good idea, like, this is, like, I really agree with what CGP Grey says about Reddit. I'll find the video. Reddit's like, he says Reddit is like life. You get in, or you get out what you put in. And it's true, once you get past, like, the whole, like, oh my goodness, this is kind of a scary thing to jump into, but once you find the subreddits you like and you start getting the other subreddits that you don't like off, then all you see is the stuff you like. You don't see any of the stuff you don't like.
The whole concept of shadow banning is pretty sketchy, if you ask me.
Yeah, but you know what? I've had to do it to a couple people in the cryptocurrency subreddits because they're trying to get people's information by posting links for people to click on, or they're posting executable files that could have.
Sure, but that could have been done easily with a regular ban. I mean, shadow ban.
Why do you need to shadow ban it?
Yeah, shadow banning is just kind of, shady. I can see the appeals of it because the guy doesn't start trying to make new accounts, avoiding IP bans and whatnot, because it's proven that those things can be.
Oh, that's what they do.
Overturned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shadow banning is kind of like we're just gonna secretly cut the microphone's power supply. It's just snip.
To be honest, like, it was only, we had rules, and it was only in extreme cases that we did shadow banning. Because I agree, I don't like the whole notion of it, but there are some situations that necessitate that.
I don't know. It's it doesn't sound to me like a necessity. A regular ban is straight to the point, and at least you're not. It's not, deceiving, for lack of a better word.
Oh no, well they've been warned. Like we warn people.
Yeah, I know you warned, but just ban the bloke. Buy the books.
Well, see, this is when they go create alternate accounts, and then you have to prove that they're an alternate. Like, we do things like
Well, not so
what?
necessarily. If they're gonna make a new account and just keep doing the same thing, you just ban them for the same reason. You don't even have to know they're the same guy, right? They're still
Right.
posting .exes. They're still posting like cracker websites that they use to infiltrate cryptocurrency sites. So you don't even have to prove it's the same guy. It's just might not even know it's the same guy. It's just another tosser doing shady stuff. So you ban him.
But they get crafty, man. They're out to get people's cryptocurrency. So they'll sit there for a couple of weeks posting good stuff and like helping out other people, and then all of a sudden they're like, they've built up a reputation for themselves, and then they'll post stuff like that. So it's crazy.
See, this is why I think cryptocurrencies are a load of horse shit.
It was fun when I jumped onto the Dogecoin thing and started doing that. I learned a lot more about PCs, and I thought I was pretty well versed.
Yeah, I'm not talking down to maybe just the experience and the what you can learn from it, but stuff like Bitcoins, Dogecoins, I mean, you're literally one fatal system error away from losing your livelihood if you invested all of your money into cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, and that's why we would, pretty much. At first, it was every couple days, then it was every couple weeks. It was just reminding people, like, don't put more in this than you can afford to lose, because it's very easy for it to all go away in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and then the hilarious point of where the hell do I use this stuff? Because from what I can tell, initially nobody paid any attention to this, and you had a bunch of guys with their bitcoins not even able to buy a pack of gum.
A lot of it was like speculation markets and things like that. So it
Speculation.
was.
The speculation market is such a huge scam. They're just prying on people's fears. It's like invest in silver today,
Oh,
or
I know.
invest in gold today.
I
Yeah,
know.
because gold's value doesn't change, does it? I remember even like it was 3 years ago. You could have sold off 1 gram of pure gold at the pawn shop for 100 zloty. That's about $33 right now, I think. And a year after that, the prices just dropped to 66. So that's $20 or something, or yeah, $20 around that. So you lost almost half of your money in an instant. It just happened basically from one day to another, and it hasn't crawled back up since.
It's people being greedy. It's have you seen Wolf of
This is
Wall
the
Street at
pawn
all?
shop, so they were ripping you off, and they were
Oh,
ripping you off regardless.
oh yeah. Those we buy gold places, absolutely.
I'm still kind of in awe how how you guys could have allowed Federal Express, a private company, to be disinvolved with your currency, valuing of your currency.
Wait, FedEx?
Not Express. What's the other thing?
The reserve?
Yeah, Federal Reserve.
Oh geez, I don't even want to get started on the whole Federal Reserve thing.
It sounds so not private, right?
Yeah, it is private. Again, it's a mess. Oh, looks like Tesla's gonna unveil a new model of their car on the 9th. Awesome.
High time we swapped over to electronic cars.
Heck yeah. And they have a D, so it's people are saying like, oh man, here comes the D. Elon Musk is like, I love the internet. Commented had me literally ROFL.
This CNN thing is really just like almost like a footnote, you know?
Oh,
It's
right
not
now,
even,
yeah.
it's not even a big article. But
That's what. That's why I need people to say this belongs on CNN.
hello, children. This is how journalism works. You cite your fucking sources.
It is nice that they have some Pastebin and Imager and all that jazz on there.
Don't you know? Journalists are hip today. I mean, when first I saw that people on places like Fox and Friends, that those morning kind of shows, we got those here too. One is called like Coffee or Tea. It's just ultra morning show with a bunch of overly happy people sitting at a coffee table and talking about half irrelevant bullshit. And when I saw old codgers on Fox and Friends going on about, well, on Twitter it's trending, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Did you guys just abandon any notion of pretending to be professionals? Are you just coming on there to talk about your Twitters now?
God, I don't watch the news. I don't watch mainstream media news like at all.
Dude, I'm not watching Fox. I don't watch news either. That's why I watch Fox News.
What?
It's dude. Have you seen any of this shit? This is better than Comedy
Oh,
Central.
you watch for entertainment? Okay, I
Why
can.
would I not watch it? It's hilarious. I was really crestfallen when they kicked off Glenn Beck. That was so much laughs of the evening for me. Now I'm not gonna pay Glenn $9.95 a month to listen to him rave.
No. See, my he's the one that listens to, what is it? It's like Rush and then like Glenn Beck and then like Sean Hannity, and he listens to all them. So every once in a while, if I'm in the car with him or something,
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm like, oh God, turn this off.
I didn't even know my mic was muted, but this is interesting. You know the senior editor of The Verge?
Yeah,
He's on the list.
of course.
The Game Journal Pro list,
Yes. He's one
and
of them.
that's news. How? I mean,
No, now it just makes sense on
I didn't know
why
it,
that
but
article got passed so easily.
Wait, did you see the other one that I posted? The one that The Verge was mad that Intel was pulling their ads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, you didn't post
Oh
that
yeah.
one.
I
The
like
Emperor?
that's why I meant yesterday about Larry Alexander being a joke. According to Lay, this was 4 years ago, it cost Activision $775 million to rent out the Staples Center. No.
There you
No.
go. There's the.
No. 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 No.
Take it easy, Kenny.
I'm not angry. I'm just saying no. I'm peacefully saying no. Because that is some unfounded bullshit. It only
I
cost
can't,
them
I can't see how
70.5 million.
I can't see how labeling someone as anti-feminist is somehow bad in the eyes of these sites. I mean, at this point, I am anti-feminist.
Y'all made me it. Y'all made me anti-third wave. Congratulations.
I don't know. These guys are second wave. Aren't second wave feminists the one that are super touchy about sex and very overly touchy
No, that's
about
third wave.
anything?
It's third wave.
No, Robin has a
You
good.
sure?
Third wave is like the froth. It's like when a wave comes in, that little wave that.
You guys are familiar with the webcomic Sinfest? It's kind of irrelevant for the past few years
Oh
because
yeah. No. Here's this. Have you ever watched the Power? I'm gonna answer your question soon, but have you ever watched the Powerpuff Girls?
oh boy, I watched a lot of cartoons when the wall fell, which my parents were very concerned because I was.
Powerpuff Girl? You remember the episode Equal Fights with that super feminist super villain?
Yeah, the one that was
Tell me that's not Anita
that was
Sarkeesian.
foaming about Susan B. Anthony coins.
Yeah, tell me that's not Anita Sarkeesian.
Not really, because that bitch at least was capable in a fight.
Oh shit!
so no, I can't really agree there. Also, she had a cool costume.
Oh yeah, and she was actually attractive.
Oh, looks like Patreon has spoken out about the Sarkeesian effect.
And
Hold on, I'm reading.
oh yeah, because if they're gonna close it down, people are gonna riot.
A lot of buzzwords in that in that publication, I bet.
Oh, so we will only remove a campaign if it's a clear violation of our terms and service. The Sarkeesian effect is not currently in violation of any of these terms. As such, we have no intent to remove the page from Patreon.
Boom.
Good
Free
job,
speech.
Patreon.
Free speech wins again.
It's good to see.
Okay,
that,
so I guess they were not that stupid.
Yeah, it's good to see that at least some websites aren't infiltrated by feminists to the point of being controlled by them.
Like I said, it'd be suicide.
Yep.
At this point, going against us.
Yeah, everybody can see where the money is. I mean, even if Intel was touchy about people on Twitter threatening to not buy their gear and their merchandise, I think even they realize that most of these people don't even use it right now, or even just use it because I don't know, the tech savvy guy from downstairs suggested that you.
No. Leigh Alexander proves he doesn't even know what a processor is.
Oh, she knows what it is. She just doesn't know how to install one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. When you guys talk about tech, I'm completely lost. I really have no clue about any of these monikers, these shortenances, but I can put a computer together. I mean, I wouldn't be able to explain what goes where, hip bone connected to
So
the
you know an
top.
AMD motherboard can't fit a so you know an Intel
These
motherboard
days,
can't
these
fit an
things are color
AMD.
coded.
Yeah. So you know the AMD motherboard, AMD base can't fit a Intel, right?
Well, yeah, I know that much.
And Leigh
doesn't.
thought it could. She doesn't.
Somebody needs to point out to them that Apple uses Intel.
Oh, no, their heads will explode.
Well, yeah, there's
We
nothing.
ain't trying to kill nobody.
I wish somebody would have like some sort of video of this hipster feminist sitting in a Starbucks, checking her Twitter on an Apple iPad or something, and then suddenly her eyes go wide and she just smashes the thing on the floor and runs out screaming.
Why? Somebody would have to tell her first.
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh,
waitress.
guys, by the way, your apples use Intel," and like, what? Misogyny! Bam!
Ooh. I threw that shit on the ground. That's what I'm gonna
Wow.
say.
Looks like a writer at CNET News. Here's one of his tweets. Dear everyone who believes in Gamergate, take the hate campaign and go fuck yourselves.
What such beautiful irony.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, there's a person that's anti-Gamergate saying that if we don't publish what we want, it's censorship.
Hmm. This would have been this would be just the crowning achievement, them having like a mini campaign against censorship. I'd be bawling. I'm
Irony.
sorry.
Irony everywhere.
the the irony levels are already way over anything humanly possible. I mean, have you been
Vegeta's
watching
scouter
this thing
exploded.
unfold?
At this point, Vegeta's scouter exploded, I think.
I swear we've probably got enough material for Lee Alexander to debate herself.
You know, somebody should do that. You know, basically find a collection of all her tweets and combine it into her arguing with herself.
Or is it like is it Lindsay? Who's the talking head? That lady that's like on CNN, or she wasn't on CNN, but oh, is it Lindsay Grace? I don't know.
So what's the Q&A looking like? Oh no, no Q&A.
No, yeah, we don't have. I failed terribly and didn't enable that when I started it.
If you click on it, can't you enable it?
Where do I do it from here?
It's on the left.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that Q&A. It says this feature is disabled.
Gotta click all them ticks, mate. Have you not tried to have a look into Open Broadcaster?
I haven't.
It's easy.
I'm gonna make an excuse. I've been too sick.
Did you make that egg beer I told you?
I did not. I passed out before I even could think about it.
You're now going to be a responsible adult and do it today.
No, I'm not.
Not you. You're not sick.
Not like that.
You don't know anything about me, bruh.
Nigga,
You don't know nothing.
Nigga, you don't know me.
You talking to me?
I'm gonna ask you to repeat that, brother, and hope I hear what I thought I heard.
Oh snap! Shit just got real.
It looks like there's someone that's anti-Gamergate that got banned from Twitter.
For what?
There's a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet now they're crying how censoring people is not okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much what's going on. They're like, well, free expression, it can be
Free
seen in
expression
both
only
ways.
to be for us.
This is just beautiful.
I mean, this is what I heard from I think it was King of Poles. He was talking about fire on one about a guy that pretty much said that the American left is identical as the American right. They were fighting for free speech, but when they got free speech, it turns out it was only about their speech, and that's just a whole barrel of lack of consistency.
Fighting for peace.
Starting wars. Wonder if my brother's company is in on anything of this. My older brother actually works for IBM. Any of those websites have backing from IBM? Because I know that if I talk to my brother, I mean, he's not really that high of a guy in the long run. I mean, he's one of the cogs in the, I don't know, it's server upkeep or something like that. I don't really know because even when he comes over and works on his laptop, I have no idea what's going on the screen. But probably when complaints would be coming from their own employees, there would be, more pull than just from a random email from someone across the world.
I think if IBM's supporting any of those sites, maybe have them say something.
Yeah, so I'm asking this: do any of these websites have IBM adverts?
I couldn't tell you. I don't go to the sites.
Nice Gamer has just earned my love. They had a sit down interview with Yuzo Kojiro, the guy who did the Streets of Rage 1 and 2 soundtrack and Super Adventure Island.
Streets of what?
Streets of Rage.
Oh, yeah, that's a beat 'em up, isn't it?
Yeah. Y'all might know the ink my you guys in European might know it as bare knuckles.
Uh, Actually, well, we had some. I'll say it like this: I played a lot of our golden age of the, gaming cabinets in a shanty little area.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an arcade game. It was
Yeah,
Genesis
yeah,
exclusive.
arcades. That's what you call it. Our golden age of arcades was in the '90s, and as far
Yeah.
as beat 'em ups go, we had.
No, that's what I was saying. It's not a arcade beat 'em up.
Oh,
Tekken was the time.
Um,
Tekken was the daddy.
that's a fighting game. There's a distinct difference between a fighting game and a beat 'em up. You gotta get it right, son. Get it right.
Marvel vs. Capcom. That was my
Mark of the Wolf.
arcade.
Here's
yeah,
the
I
thing about
actually go
Tekken.
there.
The reason Tekken was so addictive is because you could play it on the PlayStation and then go to the arcade and play it there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Go
console
home,
ports that
go
didn't suck.
practice, brag in arcade.
No, that's what it was. It was an arcade port. Because the PlayStation 1 did not have good arcade ports. Except for Namco games.
Yeah. The graphics were terrible on the PS1, let's be honest.
Well,
I don't know. It looked really decent for the time. I mean, comparing to Virtua Fighter, which was for the only
No
beat 'em up
texture
for the
blend.
PC. Yeah, Virtua Fighter was the only beat 'em up for the PC, and my God, that looked awful.
fighting game. They're two different things. Oh, fuck it.
I know we're now moved
Relax.
on to another topic.
Don't get upset, it's alright, we know what you mean. You get upset when someone says welterweight when they mean fly.
I'm kind of anal, so.
Well, that's your business.
What character you mained, Robin?
Say again?
What did you main in Tekken?
I'm waiting for him to
I
say.
can't remember her name. It was the Chinese girl in
Ying
Tekken
Xiao Yu.
3. Yeah, Ling Xiao Yu. She seemed to be my particular vein of.
Yeah, I
Kazuya up until Tekken 4, in which I finally decided to cave in and choose back.
What was the guy made out of wood's name?
Makujin.
Makuja. Tekken. So y'all basically talking about Tekken 3?
Yeah, well, Tekken 3 is best Tekken.
Yeah.
I argue for it competitively. I would argue for it competitively.
I never played competitively. The only thing we had going on as far as competitive goes is when a bunch of my mates came over. We had 4 PlayStations up, and we were all playing Tekken.
Oh,
Except
come
Steve.
on. Tell me in Tekken 3 who didn't have the cheap motherfucker who chose Eddie.
Oh yeah, we had that guy. There's always that one guy.
There was that
Fuck it.
one guy. That
I
one
could take
guy.
Eddie any time. Wasn't a problem with my character. That's why I'm so annoying.
But
No, because most of his lows at that time were unblockable, and they didn't fix it until Tekken 4.
Yeah, but you just gotta be evasive, you know.
the only problem we had, the only
But
bigger
jumping
problem.
was stiff
I
in
played
Tekken
Eddie.
3.
the guy playing Eddie was peanuts. We had one guy that was just maining Paul, and all he did was just constantly try to punch with that cheap-ass punch that took out half of your HP.
Oh yeah, that's why I like Tekken 4 the best. Because sidestepping was a dream in that game. Making punches like that, completely worthless. Hey, you gonna punch me? I'm just gonna sidestep it right here, and then just counter with like a 12-hit combo. Thank you, good day, bye-bye.
You know that game that Dan's coming out with?
That who's coming out with?
Dan V. What's his name? Ukrainian guy, isn't he? Latvian or something? He had his special white T-shirt on, you know.
Oh, Daniel Vava?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for that.
Did you see the combat? The hand-to-hand?
No, I didn't.
Have a look at some of the development stuff in there. It's pretty fucking weird.
I've been looking at the development stuff of River City Ransom, so...
It's quite slowed down. You know, I don't think anyone's ever really got it quite right, so I will be interested to see if he makes it.
I actually saw a really interesting game today, Grey Goo.
What's that about? Is that kind of like ooze?
Oh my god, that is a spike.
What?
I'm looking at autopsy rating
Oh,
today.
yeah. Grey Goo, it's basically real-time strategy, but with a twist.
A twist, you say? A good kind of twist?
Honestly, just looking at it got me excited personally.
Who here likes first-person shooters?
Troy does.
I do.
Matt,
Depends what you classify as a first-person shooter.
What?
you like a blastathon, don't you? You just like something sort of like just run around and gun.
I'm an old school Quake guy. That's what
Same
I'm
here.
sticking with. Quake. I know Quake 3 was horrible as a single player experience, but I burned so much hours in multiplayer there.
I still to this day can play the first couple levels of Quake 2 by sound alone.
Quake 2 was actually my first Quake, oddly enough. I passed Quake 2, and then you could say that was a good curve, because I played Quake 2, I said, this game is awesome, and then I played Quake 1, and holy shit, this game is even better.
I think Quake 1 was better.
What?
Quake 1, have you ever seen the video of the fastest ever going through Quake? You know how long it takes to complete
I saw a lot of rush gameplays of Half-Life, though.
You can finish Quake in 10 minutes. There is a way. And I've seen it done.
You can finish. I think you can finish Mario
Still a lot
64 in
longer
5,
to go.
dude. It's not a big deal. You can finish Mario 64 in 5.
I still don't get where did I don't know. Wait, words. I don't get when came the time when HP bars became not welcome. You know, that the HP bar blindsides somebody at the first-person shooter party or something.
No, quote unquote immersion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes away from immersion.
Blood splatters on your screen are super realistic. You know what would be a realistic shooter? You get shot, you fall down, and you fucking die. Good game.
No, there was a good realistic shooting. There was a good realistic FPS. Cold matches made. I forget the name. But let's say if you get shot in your leg, you ain't moving. If you have severe
Deus Ex
damage,
was realistic. I mean, okay, you could take a grenade to the face, but you could get all of your limbs blown off, and you have to crawl on the floor.
Best game so far for gameplay and realism without going over the top on any of them. Insurgency. It's just so beautifully balanced. You can get, it's a bit like imagine just a little bit more professional Counter-Strike with 8-player sort of like you play. You can use the engine for Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Imagine that, but with 8-player. So it's quite cool, and you're basically firing at you sort of army against insurgents. It's actually quite fun.
Oh, so it's a game about shooting terrorists? From my guys, maybe it was the poor choice of screenshots because when I went to the Steam page of it, it was just a desert and you shooting at guys on the desert.
We
Well,
should
you
make a
can be
game where you
the
can fight
desert guys
anybody
if
who
you
has
want.
more privilege than you do.
Yeah, it's really a cop out, isn't it? If a game is not sexist, it's racist. Everything's relevant.
Well, personally, I'd like to see the one thing that insurgency is missing is you being the actual insurgents while up against the computer. You know.
I think there was actually a game or a mod made for a game that puts you in the shoes of a Hezbollah freedom fighter. You know, a Taliban basically.
Yeah.
I liked how when you guys are familiar with extra credits, right?
What do you mean?
The show, extra credits.
I have no
They talk
idea.
about games, but you know, from more of a cultural and mechanical standpoint. Well, anyway, there was an episode about propaganda games, and one of the guys there made a little experiment. He had a Jingo friend that had a really huge heart-on for America, and first he made him play America's Army, and he said it was like, this is great, this is a perfect way for the army to reach out to the kids that don't have directions in their life. And then he made him play that game where you were in the shoes of a Hezbollah freedom fighters. You know, just roles completely swapped around, and the guy was horrified. He said, "This is the reason why we should watch what games our children play."
It's like it just doesn't get it, does it? Just doesn't see.
Jingos don't get it, and it's jingoism is kind of a weird phenomenon. I mean, I didn't see jingoism anywhere else in the world.
Oh, goodness. Have you guys seen the Slate article that kind of just came out? It's talking about how the claim that Gamergate is not really about sex, but corruption is journalism has never really held water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. New boycott? New boycott?
I don't know how these guys. I mean, it's October. Haven't they saw that this sort of shit just puts in more fuel in the tank?
Well, you gotta understand this. Slate is not our target demographic. It's not a video game site, right?
They're
Yeah,
just part of the echo chamber that's connected to all of them.
So, boycotting them will not have any effect except take attention from the much more important targets. See, this is the thing. We got them now, right? Intel already pulled out. So we keep going. We keep focusing on the existing targets. We keep going after rock paper shotguns last advertises. We keep going after Gamasutra's last advertises. We keep going after Kotaku's last advertise.
Kotaku has a lot of advertisers, though. What I saw from
Good, so we don't have to, worry about Slate for a while.
Yeah, it keeps us busy.
And while they're busy writing hate mail to Intel,
Until I pull their advertising.
Although this could be, this could be just an elaborate ruse. You know, somebody up there actually is, thinking, and they're going like, okay, do we have any other friend sites? And are trying to pull attention away. They're trying to catch a breather.
Oh no, but there's loads of this around. I found this in loads of feminist publications. You see.
And no surprise there.
Yeah. So that it's just it's the chummy sort of it's partisanry.
Well, at least that shows that somebody on the helm of.
Sometimes it feels like they are all writers who are just, circle jerking each other.
In all fairness, if this was planned, this is probably the smartest thing they've done in 2 months, which kind of doesn't speak favorably about them. Is it bad that I actually like the new XCOM more than the old one? I think it's
Yes, you're a horrible human being,
Yeah, I think
but
XCOM is the worst. I think it's worse than Depression Quest.
not the Bureau.
Well, I mean, they do at least have some production value.
no, I'm going to be honest here. It is well done. It is a decent state of the art, update to the series, but and it's a lot truer to the original spirit of XCOM than some of the other releases in the XCOM series. But the central issue that I had with it is it felt too short. It felt like
Oh
there
no,
was
no, I'm
stuff
playing it
missing.
on the Long War mod. I'm playing the Long War mod, not the vanilla version.
Right, but you can't count mods in there. You're gonna have to
What
look
about
at it
expansion
as
packs?
is. What?
Expansion packs.
Even with the bureau included, I mean, I
You
had
know,
that
Bureau is
feeling.
not an expansion pack, dude. It's a separate game and it's shit.
I'm talking about Enemy Within.
Yeah, Enemy Within.
Right. Well,
That
that adds definitely to the content, but I'm just taking the game at release, right? It just felt a little bit like, they ran out of time or they just couldn't get everything they wanted in there. I mean, just in comparison to the old game and the amount of depth that it had compared to the new game and the amount of depth that it had.
I think it kind of my liking of the new one kind of stems from the fact that I'm older now, and when you don't have time, when you go to work, yeah, casual stuff,
Absolutely. I'm not saying
playing
the old one
those.
was flawless by any means or
Yeah,
sort.
I'm really glad for taking out really tedious stuff like low staff management. I was never
Right,
really into the
right.
base management primarily because of that.
I love the base management part. See, this is for where people come from different approaches. But I do one thing that that can be definitely be said is that it balanced these different things, the strategy, the research, the base layout, very well.
I will, however, say I am immensely disappointed that they didn't include base invasion in the core version.
Yes.
Enemy Within remedied that, so at least they were listening. I mean, you can tell
By the way,
this
didn't
was a game made by the guys that actually loved the
yes,
old.
that was obvious. You could tell. I mean, this was clearly made. This was clearly a labor of love. Didn't one of you guys ask something about what was it? Early access?
Oh yeah, I was about to ask about that because I'm currently in a weird position. I was an early donator to Shadowrun Online because I love Shadowrun. I loved Shadowrun on my Pegasus, which is an NES pirate, and I wanted a new game. And then came Shadowrun Returns, and I'm holy shit, this game is actually good. You know, I was there when that Shadowrun thing came out in 2007. If anybody can remember that still. And currently, Shadowrun Online is like the game had a Kickstarter. It was taking donations through their website. Now they're selling early access, and the game is like in such bare bone alpha, it barely qualifies as a game. When Shadowrun Online Alpha initially launched on Steam, it was just uh, four maps of you know four maps,
Yeah, I
not
understand.
no open world,
Personally,
just straight up
I
combat
say
maps.
early access is a very, very problematic issue. Now, this case, it sounds to me like they clearly were running out of money somewhere in the middle, and we're trying to use every way possible to just get it made. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
but
been in
that's
similar
kind of
shoes.
weird because the game came out so bare bone you could actually qualify it more as a tech demo than an alpha version. No character creation, no hub, just four combat maps that could have
Bad
been
planning.
just from
Bad
Shadowrun
planning.
Return.
Simple as
What?
that. Bad planning. It's amazing how much money you can waste in game development if you do not have a proper.
Guys,
Yes.
the I report from CNN. was
Yeah.
just flagged by the community of being in violation of the I Report community guidelines in terms of use. It was taken down.
Weird, because I can still see it. You mean the CNN one?
Yeah, I
Make
can
No, it
sure
still
was,
you
see it
save it.
too.
Can you
It's
save it
still there.
somehow?
no. It was just brought back. Another one came up again. Apparently.
Yeah,
No,
they're
this is
trying to
the same
flood flag it. But
one.
anyways, to continue, I think generally speaking about early access, it is a very problematic tendency because um, it really does not do you as a developer any real service to release a game early access, and here's why. If I give my game to a reviewer, or an experienced YouTuber, or generally somebody who has an insight in development, they understand what it means to be alpha, what it means to be early access. They whereas when I just give it out to the general public, they will expect something entirely different. Now, I'm not talking about Shadowrun here, all right? Because quite frankly, I don't have the data to speak about that. But generally speaking, that basically gives the public a bad perception of your game, right? Games media and games is usually a lot also about hype, and you want to get as much sold in the beginning as possible. That's where your bread and butter is. So early access basically presenting an incomplete, inferior version totally dilutes your message. You're basically showing them, something with holes and patches, and by the time they see the finished version, they're not going, "Oh, this is awesome." They're just going, "Oh, fucking about time." You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Agreed.
so I don't think really it serves a developer well to put too much thing on early access. I think it makes more sense in this case to do a really well thought out Kickstarter campaign, and ideally uh, have a plan that includes contingencies for any
Well,
eventual problems
hey,
that may
Matt,
occur.
I wouldn't say it's completely I don't think it's completely useless. I mean, you've got to remember that there are some games out there that've got beyond alpha status, and they're
Right. I'm
approaching
not
being
saying it's completely
fine.
useless. I'm just saying it is a very dangerous game to play
Yeah,
unless you're
it's not
really,
just
really
start from the very
confident in what
beginning.
you're doing.
I think, yeah, starting from the very beginning and doing it like that, yeah, it would be just rude. But you can, when you're jumping in and you're saying, yeah, we've actually got something that's pretty much almost there, guys.
Oh man.
Do you wanna be there for the final polish?
Right, but and I think the
So,
problem
it's a
is
playtesting
when
thing.
to make that decision. Okay, it is presentable enough that it's not going to make us look like shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's a playtest, isn't it? You wanna get people to help you refine it a bit better.
I mean, there's multiple ways where you can start monetizing already during the production phase, right? One way is by selling assets out of your production. It doesn't yield as much money in a short time, but it can add to your, development budget if you do it the right way.
but you also have to keep in mind that whenever you're making a game, it's almost expected of you to have a tier that allows people to play the game in alpha stages at this point. So not including that,
No,
ability to go
I
into early
I'm old
access.
school there. Okay, I love the old ID attitude. We're done when we're done. You wait until we are satisfied with the product. Now,
I,
of
I
course,
was
that can
I was
lead.
never dissatisfied with Blizzard products, up until they paired up with Activision, but
Right, right,
I
right.
was never dissatisfied with any of the Warcrafts or Starcraft. So I'm also very much in favor of
Yeah.
it's done when it's done. But
But
that's a double-edged sword,
yeah,
The
that can
easiest,
lead to a Duke Nukem effect.
yeah, that leads to the Duke Nukem effect. Uh, kind of, it's kind of funny because I remember in '97 I was sitting with my brother, and we have like I don't know if if developers are familiar with Polish magazines, but CD Action. Ever
Uh,
run into those guys
yeah,
at any conferences or something? No.
I'm familiar with the term at least.
Yeah, CD Action, and this is a Mac that has been going for 20 years almost. And in '97, we're just sitting in a room, and he's like, "Hey, bro, come over here." I'm like, "What?" And he's pointing out at there's a little clause, not a clause, a category in the mag. It's like 5 before, 5 minutes before. So it's like they're
Mm.
talking about games that are going to be released, and it's like Duke Nukem Forever. Pretty soon we're going to be playing this. and
I
it's
honestly
just like,
think it is a crime that Duke Nukem was ever released simply for depriving the industry of its greatest joke ever.
yeah, it was. It's. I mean, I knew the game would be a disappointment,
See, but
because
this is exactly what we want. See, when anybody says Duke Nukem, you know what's going on, right? And we need to get that down for Leigh Alexander or Gamma Sutra. They need to be the Duke Nukem of games media.
mm, I don't know. I think that's making them too valid. Making them more important than they really are. I would prefer for them to just fade into obscurity, just known as those guys that fuck themselves over royally. Maybe not the websites. The website could become the no jokes, but specific authors, no.
Yeah, basically not even specific artists, but basically this is such a horrible, bad idea and example of stupidity that nobody will ever want to touch it again. But
Apparently
anyways, yeah.
some things do tend to fade into obscurity. I mean, does anybody remember the initial newspapers that fell on their own sword similarly? Because anybody that you see a pattern when you talk to professors or guys that've been around long enough to witness this stuff, they're all saying that this is the media's growing pains, that game journalism is growing up. So it's kind of clear that this sort of shit already happened with regular news media and
Oh,
television, but
absolutely.
nobody
And
remembers that.
this is the idiocy. It's not growing up. It's joining a cult.
Yeah, but the thing is exactly that, and that's what it is. It's like these guys are just hinting that it was a similar thing about when regular news media was growing up. That maybe it wasn't joining cult-like followings, but it was incredible bias and agenda-driven opinion pieces. That those things were also a thing, and they got squelched, and a more reasonable media group came out of it for a while, and then it started sliding out again. But it's not as bad as at the beginnings.
I don't know. Honestly, if we can do anything to keep these fuckers out of gaming, and with fuckers I mean these idiots trying to politicize every goddamn thing, then we have done the world a great service because we have proven that it is actually possible.
Oh,
It
and
is,
you're
it
and
is
you're
possible
saying,
to have a culture that gets by without this kind of bullshit.
yeah, but speaking of which, I remember yesterday you said that you guys think that guys like Thunderfoot and Sargon are too obsessed about it, and that this isn't like atheism plus. And
Um, I
I kind
didn't
of gotta
say that
disagree because
specifically.
yeah, but I kind of have to disagree because this is the exact same pattern I'm seeing here.
Oh, you
And
are correct, but the thing is, I think you're misunderstanding something.
no,
I
no,
think we all agree
but it's
that
like still word
Thunderfoot
for
and
word.
Sargon, have some very valid points, right? The question is more whether they are presenting those points in the best way possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, for example, the Digra stuff.
I am going to
The,
give Thunderfoot a pass because imagine yourself like in Thunderfoot's shoes. I
oh,
mean,
I
I'm
don't
not
blame the
saying
guy. I think,
I
don't
know
get me
I
wrong,
know that
I
exactly,
think
but
he's
I'm saying
playing it
that
smart,
he's
actually.
precisely obsessed because he saw this happen before and now he's just pretty much stammering, what, holy shit, I can't let this happen again.
Right.
That's why he seems obsessed and really focused on the subject, because
And I
I've been
applaud
there.
him. I mean, without people like him, and a lot of this would have not gotten as far as it did. But at the same time, I think by focusing on the journalism angle specifically, we are dismantling the process that these people use to network and get their claws in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anyone to network and get their cause in.
Oh, I get it now. You're saying that we personally know what the real cause of this is, but we're
They're the
avoiding
symptom.
we're more focusing on the results, so as
No, no, no,
because
not even the results. We are just we're removing one of their tools. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, but this whole journalism debacle is a result of feminism interjecting into areas
Yes,
they
so
don't
the
belong in.
debacle is a result, and I wouldn't even say feminism. I want to be really careful with using the word feminism because I think that's being unfair to the reasonable feminists that do exist. You
Yeah,
know?
I constantly have that problem when talking to, my friends that actually are real feminists, and I don't even know what can really call them to make this distinction
Uh,
clear in casual
ex-
conversation.
radicals or extremist feminists or whatever. I don't know. Uh,
Feminazis,
no,
misandrists.
no, that's too loaded. I think of a term. But you see what in either case. Um, I think this is the big problem with the perception is it's not people say anti-feminism, but they don't mean anti-feminism. They just mean anti a specific school of feminism.
A branch.
Exactly. And that alone it seems to be enough to immediately, get the red paint out and paint the mark on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is kind of weird because I saw in the past,
Sorry.
and this is kind of weird because I saw in the past, before this movement put up more steam as it does right now, that these kind of people identified more as second wave feminists. Then they were basically dismissive against third wave feminists, or sex positive feminists, as they love to casually call themselves. This because this is kind of weird because suddenly
The
now people
movement
are
has been
claiming that third wave.
hijacked. If you look at some of the stuff that our friend Summers wrote, you will. She actually elaborates on that point a lot. How the third wave was essentially hijacked.
Well, not really. I mean, the outset it was in trouble anyway, really, because it's sort of like basically including everybody. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, but
Which,
what's so
if
wrong
it would
about that?
really work for everybody, would not be a bad thing. But that's not really what it is.
I mean, if it was for everybody, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, not
Exactly.
really. I mean, if you said to Hitler, "What are you who are you doing this for?" That's where he'd be saying, "Oh, I'm doing it for the world.
Exactly.
I'm including everyone in my plan. Don't worry."
Not really. The Slavic race or the Slavic breed was second in line for the ovens. He was including
Yes, but
everybody for
the
himself.
guy was still crazy enough to think he was doing, that was a good thing. You know what? That's the point.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just saying
none
it
of these
wasn't
people
inclusive
actually
for. I'm just
realize
saying.
what massive hypocrites they're being. They think they're doing like God's work.
Sorry about the pauses. I'm smoking, but yeah, but this is kind of weird because I don't think that I know the Nazis were very convinced they're doing it for the greater good, but I would never accuse them of going, "Hey, everybody's welcome." You know what I'm saying?
No, he
Yeah.
said for the world, as in for the planet. They were inclusive to everybody that obviously didn't offend them.
They got along with the Japanese.
I think there was propaganda that Japanese were a detachment of of the Aryan race to some degree. I think they were just basically politicizedly including anyone that was standing with them to be a subsect of the Aryan race.
To a
Well,
degree,
they entered
yes.
the war because of embargo, though.
And there was that also.
I mean, they've got no choice. Their enemies were our friends, you know.
Would anybody like a drink?
What have you got?
I didn't get that mojito last night, Robin. That was a very long process.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Is he still doing that mojito, by the way? Did the guy get any sleep?
I don't know what's happening, man.
Maybe he fell asleep in the toilet again.
No, that's John. He brings the drink. I'm not sure if he mixes them.
Well, maybe
Because
it was already
Robin-
made and just never picked up.
Robin said that
You're
the guy
bored, by the
behind
way,
the bar is
guys.
named Ollie.
If you're bored, you can go to my Twitch stream at the moment. I'm just setting up Firefall.
Oh, you mentioned that yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah,
I tried Firefall. It's not bad by any stretch, but nothing really makes it pop for me. I don't know, because technically it has everything. You know, big wacky guns, jetpacks, shooting a bunch of comically designed aliens.
What is your stream, anyways?
sorry?
What is your stream? Like, what
Hostile
what's
GTP. If you have a look on any of my videos, it's up the top there. Hostile GTP.
Alright, guys. I'm going to be cutting this here in a couple minutes. I'm going to go grab some dinner and get ready for King's stream.
what is
Gonna be on King's
what's
stream?
been going on on King's stream lately?
Looks like he had, I think earlier this morning he had socks on, and then he's going to have TV Tokyo Ben.
Oh, that one I kind of want to see.
Yeah, and Game Journal Pros and Mighty Number 9 issues, so I really would like to
Mighty
watch
Number
that.
9 is a pathetic state of affairs. It makes me thankful that I'm not a Mega Man fan.
Well, I think everyone can
It's kind of
agree.
funny. Even people that were kind of against the whole Gamergate thing are going like, "Fuck Mighty Number 9."
Yeah.
Well, that's one.
But this is
one
a
game
big
I'm not
problem
gonna
with
do.
Kickstarter and crowdfunding things, is because basically you're paying people.
No.
on
This
good
is the
faith.
problem. This is the problem of hiring people with basically no qualifications.
Do you honestly think that nobody in that company knows what's going on?
I'm not even trying to entertain that notion. At this point, it would require you to be, I don't know, a consultant at the other end of the world,
in a glass bubble at the bottom of the ocean.
something like that.
Yeah,
I don't even believe that the guy that's running this thing,
he
the
knows.
I'm
He was
calling him.
messaged and emailed and God knows what in Japanese and English. So, this isn't a thing where they don't know. They know. They just don't give a fuck. They already got paid.
From private investors, maybe, because people are getting refunds in drove.
Well, we will have to see. Basically, I think what I really like about this Gamergate has awoken the conscious consumer in us. We are, if nothing else, what this has done is has reminded people that you can actually affect things by making choices in regards to your consumption habits.
Yeah, I was kind of yeah, I'm gonna pretend that I knew all about this from the beginning, her, but I saw I basically saw the patterns of atheism plus repeat itself. It's like It's like a multi-level marketing scheme ladder. Make shit up,
Well, that
make
would
it almost to an
explain
issue.
why Mrs.
And,
Sarkeesian has such experience with this.
I mean, do you guys really know, besides Coffeegate was the tip of the iceberg. Do you guys know what was the real issue
You mean elevator
about
gate?
sexual assault on in conferences? Rebecca Watson declared that handmade jewelry was sexist and it shouldn't be allowed to be sold
What?
on the premises. Yeah, handmade. You got your little ladies women that like to make their own jewelry, so they got like some rocks, they put it in wires and maybe pawn it off.
Uh,
Kind of bootleg jewelry.
okay,
And
okay, you have to explain this. You have to somehow explain to me how that makes any sense.
implying that I know how that makes any sense. I have no fucking idea. And she just kind of kept going on about it, like
I'm telling
we're
you,
being,
this
and it was hilarious because she was like
such a
in a video, she was
joke.
like, "We're trying to be reasonable. We don't want a lot of things, just stuff like don't rape people in conferences and don't sell fake jewelry." Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, and I love how they bring the rape in every time.
A part of me makes me wish one of them actually gets raped, so they finally get a clue what the fuck rape is.
No, this is not that. I don't wish that on anyone.
I know. I'm
No,
speaking
but
in
I
jest.
do wish that a mob of angry women who already got raped would beat the shit out of her, to show her, she is. Never mind. This is also not. No, this is not cool to say. It's just
No,
something
it's cool to
really.
say. It's cool to say
I'm
because
really unhappy with people making
Matthias, it's cool to say because reason was used, and these people proven they do not like reason and will not be reasoned with. And as much as people would like to deny it, when reason fails, you gotta take your pitchforks in hand. There's just no other
Yeah,
way.
but regardless of that, I mean, I regret the way I just phrased that, and I'd like to apologize for it because that is not appropriate either. But it makes me really angry that people have turned this horrific atrocity into something that's equal to a joke. I mean, I actually feel the same way. See, I'm German, right? So this whole any kind of Nazism stuff, has a little bit of a different meaning for me, right?
By the by, you guys are you're too oversensitive about your past.
Yes, I know. I'm well aware. But, for example, I dislike the fact that they use words like grammar Nazi or Nazi is just a pedantic person because that really makes it so much less severe than it actually is. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
just
True,
because
but that
I mean,
just
just
kind of but that's
you're
kind of
comparing
proves
somebody who
but that
corrects
kind of
somebody else's
shows that the
grammar
world
with
got
somebody
over it.
who. Yeah, but I'm just trying to explain it. You're basically comparing somebody who corrects somebody's grammar with somebody who put people in an oven and burned them alive.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's more.
the severity of bad grammar.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of the
It should be
you
grammar
can't
due, shouldn't it? Really,
you
because the
can't.
person who's made that problem should be put in an oven.
Well, yeah. The thing is, I get away with a lot of things on the topic specifically because I am a Jew. I'm not gonna hide that I'm abusing my privilege right now.
I don't believe you are.
But
I don't believe any Jews are either. I think
I
it's
am
just like a made up
in favor
thing,
of the.
just like
I am
cultural.
Yeah, I'm fairly in favor of the notion that you can't fight ideology. You can kill it, and you can only kill it with laughter. The only way Nazis will stop being such a hot button issue in Germany is when the world just assimilates them as a pun.
Thank
Because
you. See, I absolutely agree. There's a famous German cartoonist who made entire books, basically in the style of children's cartoons, but making fun of Hitler. You know, there's actually a movie coming out there. I'm gonna have to link you later. It's hilarious. But the point is, the thing that he said was, It's not that, I'm asking, the question isn't, how can you make fun of Hitler? The question is more, how can you not?
It's kind of like it's an elaborate way, the way that uh, I remember there was supposed to be a game based on, well, not based, kind of set in World War II that, was a game about a little Jewish boy and his escapism to avoid the realities of the Second
Right.
World War. It was supposed to be made in America, and it got blocked. You can't make a game on that subject, and that's precisely one of the reasons that Nazism is still a thing. You're taking those guys seriously. You're taking a bunch of crackpots, validating them by taking them seriously, treating them in a way as if they're a real threat.
Well, this is one of the issues. See, in Germany, for example, certain symbols of that type are illegal to be shown.
Which is kind of hilarious considering the swastika is more prominent as a
I know.
Buddhist symbol than, than a Nazi.
You are 100%. I'm right there with you. Uh, this is the debate. This is the ridiculous stupidity behind it, because every time you make something illegal, it backfires on you, especially when it's something to do with ideology.
Streisian effect, in a way.
Exactly. This is pretty much what we're witnessing right here, but the negative aspects of it too. Censoring and that kind of stuff never works.
Mel Brooks
Well,
knew.
at least it works for a while.
Mel Brooks
Yeah,
knew
but
knew the score on that topic. In other slightly unimportant gaming news, apparently the fan movement to bring back City of Heroes is currently deep in talks with NCSoft to allow them lease the license.
oh, cool. I will
Which I'm
say MMOs are some of the most painful things to develop that are out there.
Yeah, this is kind of why I don't really believe in upstart companies that want to make MMOs as their first project. I mean, guys,
You
you
should
don't know
never
what you're doing.
try to do an MMO as your first project.
Not
And
ignoring the initial costs of an MMO. An MMO can easily cost up to 10 times more than a regular game. And then you gotta
absolutely.
keep, and then you gotta factor in the upkeep. You know, can you
Yeah,
run a long-term
you
company
you
like
are
that?
100% correct. I mean, they're they are notoriously difficult, and they're no, because the other thing is, for them, development never stops. The moment you stop development for an MMO, it's dead.
But also players are the content. This is why I'm sort of baffled by the fact that there are gated off communities. I mean, aren't
There is
people the
actually, I
content?
read a really interesting article on that subject a while ago about how a certain indie, see, this is not just a case for MMOs. This is a case also for any type of multiplayer game. As long as you use it's using some form of community, right? You need a certain critical amount of people who own the game. Otherwise, multiplayer is just useless, right? And one of these companies handled it in the way that if you had to wait X amount of minutes to find another person to play with, they would give you a free Steam code that you could give to a friend for the full game. Now
That's
that is something that I actually think is a brilliant move on their side, because as soon as the numbers go up to the point that it's no longer needed, it ceases to happen.
I really think that MMOs live or die based on their community. I mean, I was very firmly embedded in the movement to not shut down City of Heroes. I mean, look at the game. It's really not something wow worthy, and not wow moniker. Like whoa.
What
It doesn't make.
surprises me
It
though
doesn't
is that
pop.
DC Universe Online is still going strong.
Oh my god, that game is so terrible in comparison.
Yes, but this is what I don't understand. So it's obviously it must be a marketing issue.
No, it's not a marketing issue. The game doesn't know what a hero MMO should be. It's what was the best thing about creating your own superhero at the back of your math book during boring math classes? You could make
You're
guys like Fartman or the
Yes,
Incredible
you
Pool
you you're
Boy.
100% correct on that. But my
And if I
question,
want to make a clown that's running around with a huge baseball bat and is a tank, I'm basically told I have to have ice powers. You have
yeah,
to.
but here's the thing. Why is it that that game is still running and the obviously better game is it's down to marketing. Either there is this it's a perception thing and you're seeing the game that you like with rose-colored glasses, that's option one, or there is a clear difference in how the game were marketed if one, despite being objectively better than the other, fails spectacularly and the other it doesn't.
I think there was also the case that this was the only MMORPG I know of that console players could play. This is the only MMO I know for PlayStation 3, so it might be that the PC scene is limping, but the PlayStation servers are going strong because, it's the
I
only
can
MMO
feel
they can play.
But there are
But
many factors. I mean, honestly, if you're if you're a developer or planning to get into development, uh, sharpen your teeth on a couple smaller projects first before you step into MMO world because it's a nightmare. I mean, unless you're a company like Blizzard that
Uh-huh.
has more money than God, it's gonna be a horrible grind.
Yeah, because I want to develop and I can code, but I can't draw for anything. My hands are too they move around too much. I I have very shaky
You want to know
hands.
something funny?
What?
I make 3D art, and I can draw or shit.
But I don't and see it's not that it's, and I wouldn't mind doing 3D stuff, but I really like not 8-bit retro reliable bullshit, but like 16. I like sprites. I would say that. I like 2D sprites better than I like 3D polygons. I've always have.
That's,
Huh?
nothing wrong with that. But, that's the other thing is, I mean, sorry, even if you're working on sprites, in my experience, you're not really drawing. We're working pixel by pixel, at least I do. But there's nothing wrong with just being a programmer either. Hello?
Oh, I've got about 9 viewers on this now, Twitch.
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Anyone
Speaking
watching
of
this
which,
Twitch stream?
Yes.
How's it coming out?
Decent, I guess.
The variable come out, isn't it? I've done it low res just to try and give you a bit better details.
It reminds me a little bit of Unreal Tournament.
The
And it
gun,
just
this
came out.
particular gun, yeah, it's got that sort of feel to it.
anybody still remember that great rivalry, Unreal Tournament versus Quake?
It wasn't a
That
rivalry, it was a baby kicking at the shin of a giant.
my neighborhood was split into two fronts. We were at the point that we were almost making wolf halls at the border.
You know what? Unreal Tournament had more going for it, but it wasn't as advanced as an engine.
I think the issue is more that Quake at that point was distilled down to its essence. It was, in a way, it was purer. You know what I mean?
Tarmac was a bit too puritanical with simplicity.
Hey guys, I'm gonna give us about 5 more minutes.
Are you gonna actually be on that stream, or are you just gonna chime in to listen?
Oh, I'm gonna be there to listen.
I usually don't
It was
listen to
acting weird for some
streams. I
reason.
prefer to wait till they go up as already done deals.
I like to participate in the chat on King's stream. I usually just call him names. Like I just keep saying King, you shill over and over again.
Why?
I don't know, just because I'm just fucking with him.
It's that my mom says I'm funny kind of deal.
I guess so. But yeah, everybody that's all 8 viewers that are watching, King's gonna be having a stream that's gonna start in about 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I'll probably turn off this Twitch stream for that.
Yeah.
Still, it's kind of weird how MMORPGs are. You could argue that that's the community is their lifeblood. You know, you could have the best MMO in the world, and it wouldn't be worth a fuck if you don't got players. It's like with City of Heroes. It wasn't that great of a game, you know. It was decent. I liked playing it. I wouldn't argue it was the best shit since sliced bread. But the amount of backlash that the shutdown notice received was mind-boggling. I mean, did you see people flail this much when Tabula Rasa gone down?
Eh. Everybody has their community.
Yeah, but I don't know what was it about City of Heroes, but it had the best online community I ever saw. People were generally nice to each other, and there were no cliques that I saw.
Oh well, I mean, if you want the best online community, go play EVE Online.
With the goons.
No, you don't have to be part of the goons.
If I want to play EVE Online, I'll just fire up my copy of Elite 2. Thanks very much.
Nah.
Elite is EVE Online, just without online, and with amiibo graphics.
What?
No, it isn't.
Yeah, why
Yes.
would you want to play EVE Online without the online part?
To avoid the
It's not
the
the same.
shitheads?
It's inspired. You know, it's inspired by it, but it's so much more than EVE Online.
The
sorry,
gist of the
then,
game is identical. I mean, at least in Elite, I can auto fly to a station with Halls of the Mountain King tuning in the background. I tried
the
play.
whole fleet
I
business
tried
and all
play.
that sort of thing. It's
I tried
way
playing.
more.
It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm just stupid. It was just too complex for me.
It
And I
takes
didn't
about
have-
2 years to become fluent in EVE Online. At least it was back in the old days.
And I'm the weird type of guy that my ideal game playthrough of EVE Online would be playing a Minmatar and just mining all day. You know, I like the idea of harvesting and crafting stuff, even if it's the most boring aspect of the game you can imagine.
Well, it's soothing. It's like almost therapeutic to sit there and mine with some smooth jazz in the background.
Precisely. See, when you know the whole walking in stations thing,
Yeah.
I was going to open up a bar. You know.
Wait, they canceled it?
Yeah.
Way to go, CCP.
and I'd just throw money at people.
Yeah, but I guess you got a clue that CCP weren't the best people with. They didn't have a grasp of good good business decisions. You know, the monocle. Anybody?
I mean, there was. See, my whole thing, the decline of Eve, for at least for me, was when the tutorials started giving you so much free stuff and free ISK and just making it so easy for people. Like it kind of detracted from the, oh man, I've spent 2 years perfecting how I play
Well,
this game.
the
But
community
now,
is an MMO's lifeblood. If you don't get at least a similar amount of people going in as are dropping out,
You're
because let's
done.
face it, there are every day people are dropping out of MMOs. You know, it's inevitable.
oh yeah,
Somebody is going to stop playing, and if you don't get this somebody to pop into their place, you're going to start losing players. And when you're starting to lose players, that's the first warning signs that you're doing something wrong.
oh yeah. Well, I can't tell you how many emails I get saying, oh, reactivate for only like $4.99, and they're just the price seems to drop every quarter. They seem to come
I'm
out
not
with
a
a
fan
lower
of
price
Eve, but
point
if
to
Eve ever
reactivate.
dies, it'll be really tragic.
Yeah. I mean, that game's been going for a long time. When you think
What
about
game?
it.
Yeah, but it's basically the only. This is probably the only space sim I could really get into. You know, at least the modern space sim. At this point in the MMO market, the space sims are the
Hmm.
shovelware. I saw so many.
Sad but true.
What?
I
What's that
said
game
sad
from
but
that,
true.
the Universe Sim that's coming out that was on Kickstarter? I backed that. That looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, Star Citizen. Yeah,
I
Star.
really I really hope No Man's Sky looks as good as it plays as good as it looks. I I hope it does.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to cut everyone off, but I'm going to be ending the stream here. I'm going to eat and get ready for King's show.
Got it.
I will most likely be doing another one later tonight afterwards if people want to get together and discuss, but we'll see.
All right, now I'm gonna hang out because I made the bad choice. I had a bad lapse in judgment when I ate leftover casserole late, and then I had to take a power nap, and I woke up around 11 p.m.
All right, I'm just going to hit the stop broadcasting here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.